Okay, Blumhouse, now you have my attention. What is up, guys? So a few days ago, I heard news that they are remaking Black Christmas again. Just to take you back, Black Christmas is one of my all-time favorite movies. Not just horror movies. Movies in general. The original. The 1974 classic. And it's interesting because this is a movie that I didn't know about for 20 years. I discovered the movie like in the mid-90s, and I quickly became like obsessed with the movie, just because still to this day it's one of the most unique horror movies ever made. It predates Halloween by 4 years. This movie's really special to me. I think Bob Clark really tapped into the perfect combination of what a slasher movie can and should do, and that is completely terrify the audience, and I think that's what Black Christmas does. And it also combines the holiday of Christmas, which I've always had kind of a thing for Christmas horror movies, but funny enough, they never seem to get it right with the holiday mixed with horror. There are a few gems out there, but yeah, this is one of those that it really has stayed with me throughout, time. It's just a very special movie. Along comes the 2006 remake. I was highly interested in that one. The first couple of watches, I hated that movie with a passion, all because of one character. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it, but there's one character in the movie that's not really in the original, and it completely just derailed the movie for me. And this was a major part of that movie. Having said that, after watching it probably, I don't know, umpteen times, it's come around, and I have to separate my love for the original to really enjoy what Glenn Morgan was trying to do with the remake. He wasn't trying to copy the original. He was trying to really expand on that story, and the story that he had in mind for that one was given to him by Bob Clark. So I can't fault Glenn Morgan for what he was doing. And visually, it is a stunning looking movie as far as like utilizing the creepiness yet beauty of the holiday of Christmas. It works perfectly, I think, in that department. It's still not a perfect movie by any means, but I always have a good time with it, actually. So now, before I give you my thoughts on this news, and they are just thoughts, the movie could come out and it could be like freaking amazing. They could knock it out of the park, and I could love it. But right now, my initial thoughts on it. Remakes don't do anything to the original movie. The original movie is always there. Just like the 2006 movie didn't take away my love for the original. And I'll even go further and say I love that there was never an official sequel to the original movie. There was a remake, but there was never a sequel. And to me, I think that makes the original a little bit more special. John Carpenter's Halloween is my favorite movie of all time. But if the sequels never existed, maybe it would be a little bit even more special to me. Because when I go back and watch it, I forget how masterfully directed that movie is because I've seen these sequels so many times before, and it kind of waters down the original until I go back and watch the original, and I'm reminded that, oh, John Carpenter directed this. So I'm glad we never got a sequel to Black Christmas. Now, remakes, I don't mind. I mean, there's a ton of crap remakes out there. There's a ton of good ones out there. I have 2 videos on top 10 remakes, 2 of them. So there are some good remakes out there. As far as this remake, after doing my research on what is going on with this is going to be directed by the first female director that Blumhouse has ever enlisted. Sophia Takala is her name. Now, I do know one of her previous works, and that is that like Hulu original that they had, New Year, New You. I watched that. And from a directorial standpoint, it's a very ambitious film. It's not just your standard horror film. There's some really interesting shots in that movie, actually. And I think this is a director that has so much potential. She got me really excited. And if she can pull off what she did with that movie, not saying that movie's like amazing or anything, but as far as like really nailing down what psychotic characters can be, because this really deals with psychotic characters. I'd recommend, if you have Hulu, definitely check it out. I like what she was going for. And if she can do that in this remake, I mean, we have a good chance here that this could be a good movie. Now, this is going to be set in the present day, and that can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. But think about horror in the present day right now, okay? Don't just think about like millennium slashers, okay? Because I know we all veer towards that when we're talking about a slasher film, because that's really what Black Christmas is a slasher film. But think outside the box a little bit, and we have films like Hereditary, like The Witch, It Follows. There are so many horror movies that really don't follow that standard millennium slasher norm, or just millennium horror norm. And so this kind of gives me hope for this. I am kind of obsessed with Black Christmas in general, and if they can somehow manage to capture what made the original so special in terms of atmosphere, in terms of score. Like, the original has one of the creepiest scores I have ever heard. Seriously. And if they can really hone in on that, they have a good shot at this, I think. Imogen Poots is the main character of this. Very fine actress. I loved her work in Green Room, as well as one of my favorite zombie films, 28 Weeks Later. I think she has a bright future ahead of her. And so her name really grabbed my attention on this. Having said that, this movie could be absolute complete crap. It really could. But I am an optimist. I am obsessed with Black Christmas. And the 2006 movie on its own, I have some fun with it. But as a remake to Black Christmas itself, I would welcome, I guess, a do-over. To me, more Black Christmas is a good thing. I just love the property that much. So, and I'm sure that they'll be honoring Bob Clark here and there. We'll see some little Easter eggs and stuff. But one thing I really want them to do too is kind of focus in on Billy like they did in the first movie. And the first movie captured one of the most iconic and underrated slasher killers I have ever seen on film, because you never see Billy in the original movie. All you see is his eyeball. And if they could do that again in this movie and maybe twist it up a little bit, but don't do what they did in that freaking remake. I hated what they did with Billy in the remake. But if they can really capture what they captured in that first movie, then this could be something special. It really could. So anyway, guys, that is my thoughts on the Black Christmas remake, Blumhouse, coming out this December, Friday the 13th, which is crazy. So this thing's getting underway really soon, if not already. Post in the comments your thoughts on this news. Are you excited? Let me know. I know I'm going to get a lot of mixed opinions on this news, but I find that really interesting. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free for All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.